I brought you along on a real photo shoot. This is a real one, which we're going to be doing for a friend of mine called Louise James. She is a physio and she's also a yoga teacher, and she's invented this amazing product called the butterfly. Now, I always thought I had a pretty good posture, and maybe you'd disagree, but she said, come here and did a 15 minutes treatment on me, and I was completely blown away by it. So I'm giving it a serious plug there, because I looked like this before and then like this afterwards. So I think it's amazing. But what are we doing? She needs just a couple of mood shots, which may be used for publicity, packaging on the website, something like that. Now, we've already had discussions about how it's going to work. We're looking at a landscape type picture, probably lots of negative space so it can be cropped into. Because we may want to crop into it, I'm shooting on the D600 because it gives me a bigger, more robust file. So there's more space for a designer to remove pixels. The Fuji's brilliant, but it hasn't got quite as big a file as this thing. So that's why I'm shooting with it. What's the idea? Yoga's about kind of peace, isn't it, and tranquility, and part of the butterfly's attraction is that it can be used as a yoga seat pretty much anywhere. So if you like to meditate down by the water, well, what a great thing, you see. So we're down here, one of my favorite places, you've probably seen it before, and we're going to be doing the shot here. There's a couple of versions I want to do. One is looking out towards the sky over here, because we've got a bit of nice sky, we've got a nice horizon, we've got all this stuff going on. But also over here, we've got, I don't know if you can see it in the video camera, but we've got the sun and we've got this shiny, shiny light path coming across the water. I think it could look cool. I'm going to go for that one first because I don't want the sun to climb any higher. There's a fair bit of planning that has to go on around these shoots as well, making sure you're at the right place at the right time. We wanted to do this actually on a flat, grey, dull, cloudy sky, so it would make Louise's butterfly stand out more. Come say hello. So I'd like you to meet my friend, Louise James, who I may call Tilly now and then because we do know each other quite well. So you invented it, you designed it, and nobody can probably hear you because I've only got the microphone on.
I did.
You did, good. Sorry. So we were going to do this in grey because, you know, against a grey sky, because we wanted the colours of this to stand out, but best laid plans and lots of checking weather forecasts, the sun's come out, but you know, you just have to work with these things when you're doing it. So we've had a rethink to the things I talked about just now. Why are we doing it this time of year and not a nice warm sunny day? Well, in the summer, the sun is much, much higher in the sky and it won't be over there at this, you know, is this time of year when the sun is at that height over there. In the summer, it won't be there. It'll be somewhere else. It'll be over there somewhere and up there. These are all things you have to plan and think about. So I suppose we better do it. You might get a bit cold. We have the awesome Christina on hand as assistant, so she may be running in and out of shot now and then. So shall we get you ready? Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got, let's get your coat off. Undressing women in the wind. What a wonderful job. That was awfully unprofessional, viewers. I do apologise. Tilly, are you going to keep the jumper on for the...
I certainly am.
You're going to keep it on? Okay, I don't blame you. Right, shall I hold that so it doesn't blow away? We've already chosen this flat rock here. So there's something for Tilly to sit on. Do you want to... You all right? We did some research the other day and Louise fell down a hole. We don't want that to happen again. Okay? So we're perfect. Great stuff. You're all set up there, yeah? So we're just going to do a back view because this needs to be sort of androgynous, you know, it could be anybody there. This is what the picture's about. So there we go, everything's all sorted out. Now just watch for little things. I'm just going to mess about with your clothes, sorry. There's a bit of t-shirt hanging out the bottom. These are things to watch for when you do it because it's a pain in the neck photoshopping things out at the other end. So you're all right there. So what's my shot? As I said, I want to try and get this little bit of sparkly going on. Let me just show you the surroundings. So we've got something like that. Now, when I look at my histogram, I can see that there is plenty of data in the shot. We're shooting into the sun. Remember, your camera's exposure meter will probably get confused, so you need to work with your histogram. Now, because we are going into the sun and we have got that bright light path, there will be some clipping at the bright end. Nothing you can do with it. They're a fact of life. So that is the positioning. Now, how am I going to achieve the shot I want? I need to extend or shorten my focal length I want to get a bit lower. I want to get the sun well into shot, so I've got to come down lower. What have we got? That's a nice shot, but I'm looking at the histogram and it's saying it's too bright. So what I've got to do is just take a bit of light away, just decrease that exposure a little, shoot it again and see what happens. Sorry, I didn't mean to click it then. Can you put your hand down? That's right. Cool. Just waiting for, there we go, that's better. Take that shot. Okay, now the histogram is saying to me that I have got some detail in the shadow. If I just flick between the two, I've got a little bit more detail, a little bit more in the highlights. I'm happier with that exposure. But what I am seeing, Christina, could you ask Tilly just to rotate left a little bit? Because she's at a bit of an angle to me. We want a straight back on view. One of the joys of having Christina about. That's better. These are all, yep. And then hands on knees and all that, perfect. Good. These are all things you've got to watch. It's not just camera settings, it's managing the environment that you're shooting in. So, I want to get a bit lower still. I don't want to lose the sparkle, but I want to make sure I've got sun in there. So I'm going to focus on Louise, make sure it's level and shoot my shot. Not bad, but can you see how her arms are? They need to be more symmetrical. So, sorry, I'm just going to move you a bit. Can you, hands on, that's it. I want to, there, that's better. It just looks better. Okay, thank you. There we go. Just chuck your camera in the gravel, it'll be fine. Right. That's better because I wanted the gap between her body and her arms. That's much nicer. We just flick between the two. You see what I mean? That's pretty good. Now, one of the most important things about always using your histogram is it tells you you've captured the data that you need. Because in the back of the camera, Louise looks a little bit silhouette-y, but I know that in Lightroom I can pull those highlights down, lift those shadows up, and we're going to do that in the next film. I'll show you how I do the raw processing. You've got to shoot raw when you're doing this. Let me just see, she wanted to do one with a hat. Could you see if she wants her hat, please, Christina? But overall, I think that's looking pretty good. Now in a moment we're just going to rotate the shot a bit. This is about maximising your surroundings, because by moving the shot around to shoot this way, we'll get a catch light on the bottom of the butterfly that she's sitting on, and we're going to put her against a blue sky as opposed to the sparkly backlight. I always love shooting into the sun, but you know, not everybody does. Yep, I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, bobble hat. Right, I'll come back a little more. It's balancing that place with capturing the sun in shot. And make sure, yep, autofocus is good. I must have got my beep turned off. I like having the autofocus beep because it always lets me know that I focused. What have we got now? Yep, good histogram. Fair bit of burnout in the highlights, but it doesn't matter because it's about the person. The sun is and Tilly are quite close, so I want to move her to the right a bit and the sun to the left a bit. I've got to move the sun that way, so I've got to move this way a little bit. And you'll see there's a slight bit of separation starts to happen as the camera moves to the left. That's better. That's better. I might go a little tiny bit more, just like this, and then we can compare the two. Yeah, I prefer that. That's looking good. That's looking good, and I like the burnout in the top left. Okay, so that's that shot. Now let's rotate it round and put the blue behind her. And all it is a case of moving. As you can probably see, as Simon's moving across, we're losing the sun and we're now getting the blue. So let's put her really low and have a look. That is a good histogram, a good sexy histogram. But I don't like the composition so much. You see how the horizon is cropping right through Louise's shoulders. That doesn't look very good. So I want to move the horizon. So I'll do one through her body and one above her head. Let's go through the body first. To do that, all you got to do is bend your knees. I so wish I could video this for you, but I just can't figure out how you video. I hate videoing with the DSLR. I'm going to put the horizon on her knees, widen the shot a tiny bit. But there we go, so the horizon is on her knees. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to place the horizon through her body. Now watch how much I move. This is the tiniest movement. I'm going to go, that's it. Me moving my body from here to here has lifted the horizon. So if I take that shot, like that. Now let's put the horizon above her head and see what it looks like. So doing that, all I've got to do is get higher. So as I climb up the shingle bank, here we go. Now I've moved closer, that means I've got to widen the lens. You see, all these things, they don't work in isolation. You're continuously juggling exposure, focal length, where you are, where you're moving, making sure the person who's being photographed knows what's going on. They don't know how this works. They've never done it before, so you must look after them. Okay, so Louise on the right, a bit higher. I'm even going to go on tiptoe to try and make sure there's a wave behind her that I don't like. There it is. So there's another one there. I'm just going to wait for a gap in those waves so it's a little bit flatter, and there we go. You see, little things, watching what's happening in the background, not just your model. Yeah, I think we have got some good shots there. I think we've kind of covered that one. I'm just going to whiz in and do a close-up and just show you what happens with the light as it's moved. Come over here, guys, let's just do it and I can explain that. Good, we've kind of done the pictures, but we're still filming. I want to demonstrate how the light moved on the butterfly. So, forgive me, I might take a picture of your bottom, if I may. Pardon?
You've been dying to do that.
I've been dying to do that, you are right. So if I just take a shot, we do know each other well. If I just take a shot of the butterfly from here, so you can just sort of see what's going on with the light. And then, Louise, would you mind shifting around that way a little, please? And the butterfly. That's it, perfect. Perfect. If I take the same picture, you'll see there isn't quite so much light coming across the butterfly. If we just look between those two shots, you see how the left edge has got a slightly more rounded curve to it compared to this one. These are all things to think about. Light's important. So there you go, guys. That's kind of the basis of what we're doing with this. We may take a few more shots, but that's what I wanted you to see and to understand. Take care, and I'll see you in the one where we sort out the raw files in part 2. All the best, take care.